Congratulations! By making it here, you are actually ahead of 90% of the people because there's only 3% on this planet that own Bitcoin. Yet. I've been a financial advisor for 15 years, and if there's one thing that I have learned during this time, then it is that we have a retirement crisis. But good news, there might be a way how you can fix that. Yeah, you probably heard of it. Your friend told you he got super rich with it, or the neighbor of your cousin bought them for pennies years ago and now he drives a Tesla. Yes, Bitcoin, that's what I'm talking about. So I guess you're here because you're asking yourself, should I now buy Bitcoin too? I studied Bitcoin for years and the result I got to is I cannot afford to not own any of them. And you neither. So why do I say that? And what does Bitcoin have to do with your retirement? And why should you even care if you're not even 35? In today's video, I will give you 6 reasons why I personally purchased Bitcoin and why it could be the smartest decision that you ever took for your future. Reason number 1. Bitcoin is the best performing asset that ever existed. If we look at Bitcoin, gold, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, whatever we take, there is nothing that outperformed it. I mean, if we look at it from 2012, even the Nasdaq is down 99% against Bitcoin. And the average return of Bitcoin is 150% per year. So betting against Bitcoin is like signing up for a box fight with Floyd Mayweather without even training before. I would not do that. So yeah, 13 years of history and nothing that performed like it. I think you get it. Reason number 2, Bitcoin is scarce. In a world where central banks are printing money and the money supply worldwide is just rising and inflation is a problem that we have to deal with, there is nothing better than scarce asset. You can see the gold price was just rising, and that's the good thing about Bitcoin. We have 21 million and there will never be more. Even the opposite is the case. People start losing them, they get confiscated and nobody can access them. So there's not even 21 million on the market anymore. And we are 5 billion people, so you should maybe make sure to get your little share of it. So in a way it's like gold, but nobody can find a new mine and raise the supply spontaneously. And it's also much lighter in your pocket when you want to go somewhere. Imagine sending 100 million US dollars in gold to another continent. How much effort is this? How much security do you need? How much transport problems do you have? And how much paperwork do you have to go through to even move this heavy thing from one country to the other? You would need a ship or a plane, you would need a security team, you would need a storage wherever you go, and then you have to make sure that your ship doesn't sink or your plane doesn't crash and nobody steals that thing from you. While Bitcoin, it's just a click. Reason number 3, inflation. Like gold, Bitcoin offers inflation protection, but even better. On average, the money supply is growing by 8% a year. And if we take real inflation, we are at 4%. So your hurdle rate that you have to beat every year to not lose money is 12%. The S&P 500 does 12% on average over the past 10 years. So 12% is our hurdle rate that we need to make every year just not to get more poor. The bitter truth is that the S&P 500 made just that over the past 10 years and gold even less. Only tech stocks and crypto have been able to outperform the 12% over the period of the past 10 years. But if we look at the Nasdaq, it's actually down 99% against Bitcoin. So what do we buy? Yeah, you get it. Reason number 4, maybe my favorite, volatility. You might probably say, yeah, and that's the problem of Bitcoin. I will say, that's the best part of it. Over time, volatility will fall. As bigger the market cap of Bitcoin gets, as lower gets the volatility. So today, volatility is still really high, and that's why I love it. When you dollar cost average every month, or you know how to do swing trades on mid to long term time frames, volatility is everything you want. Because this is what makes you really big money. When prices fall down deep before they rise again, they give you the opportunity to buy extremely cheap. So as higher the volatility is, as cheaper you can buy, and you get it, as higher you can sell. So when you dollar cost average every month, the same amount, it means if Bitcoin falls 50%, you apparently get double the amount of Bitcoin for your money during that period of time where Bitcoin is that low. Of course, Bitcoin has to go up again, but so far it's always done it. So it's great to have the volatility. Reason number 5, risk-reward ratio. If Bitcoin continues its adoption rate as it did so far, we could see a Bitcoin price of above 10 million per Bitcoin. So if you buy just 0.1 Bitcoin for like $10,000 today, You risk $10,000. Worst case, Bitcoin doesn't work, you lose your $10,000. But if we get to a price of $10 million, it means you fix your whole retirement problem just with $10,000 one time today. So tell me, what's more risky? Investing $10,000 today, owning 0.1 Bitcoin, and maybe fixing your whole retirement, or hoping that conditions change and they stop printing money as much as they are doing right now? You get it. Reason number 6, freedom. In a world where everything gets more centralized and more digitalized, isn't it important to keep a bit of control by yourself? What if your bank decides tomorrow to not pay you out your money anymore? Or if the country that you live in decides to start a war with someone and you want to leave the country with your gold? I could give you many reasons, but the outcome is always the same. Bitcoin is easy to transfer, easy to carry, easy to use, easy to sell. It gives you more freedom and more control over your own money. It is actually the chance for a new monetary system and a world where we have a bit more decentralization and control in our hands. So let's bring this information out there. By liking and sharing this video, you do a big part to it. And me, I just continue making videos. So make sure you subscribe so in the future you don't miss out on them. See you next time. Ciao.